Did you put Christmas on a credit card? Don't stress out about that extra holiday spending. SaveWithConrad.com can help you consolidate all of your high interest rate credit cards into one much lower monthly payment. SaveWithConrad.com has helped families just like yours save up to $800 a month. You don't need perfect credit or money out of your pocket. And did I mention no payments until March? So don't make saving money a resolution next year. Make it happen today at SaveWithConrad.com.
NMLS number 2129, Equal Housing Lender.
Hey, it's Conrad Thompson, and you're listening to What Happened When? With the voice of your childhood, Tony Schiavone. Tony, what's going on, man? How are you?
I'm here in the Bat Cave with only one dog.
Did you kill the rest of them?
Hell no. Scout, come here, girl. See, it's like, here's what's going on at my house. You ain't got a treat, they ain't paying attention to you. So that's the way it is. So I don't know where the other two are. I guess they're coming up the other side with Lois, who's getting ready to hobble on the bed.
Hobble?
Yeah, she's in a lot of pain. She's getting hip replacement surgery January 6th.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Man, that's just in time for her to watch WWE on Netflix. I'm sure she's fired up about that.
We are all fired up about that, to be honest.
I mean, are they going to have Netflix in the hospital for
her? If not, I will bring my computer in and hook into the hospital Wi-Fi and stream it.
Because I know one thing's for sure. When Lois is laid up on pain meds, hurting for certain, the one thing she really wants to do more than anything else is watch wrestling.
Yeah. And that's how I feel on Wednesdays and Saturdays. And none other day, please.
Yes. No, I get it. I'm looking forward to January 6th too. It's my wife's birthday. And last year we went all out for her birthday. This year I've told her that we're going to watch WWE on Netflix. So she's really excited.
You guys were in Chicago for All Out for her birthday?
No.
You said we went to All Out for her birthday.
No, I was saying we went all out. Like I
planned
a lot of things.
That was at the Now Arena. All Out was.
Yeah. I took her to fucking wrestling in September for her January birthday. You got me, Tony.
Okay.
You nailed it. We are excited that you guys are with us because we're going to be watching some bad wrestling. It's what we do around these parts, and we want you to join us, be a part of our live studio audience by joining us at patreon.com/WHW Monday, or, of course, ad-free shows. But anyway, we're watching Starcade 94 today, Tony. This is one of those Nashville Starcades with Hulk Hogan, brother, in the main event of the Starcade, which once upon a time would have felt sacrilegious. And he's wrestling the GD Butcher, the former Brutus, the fucking Barber Beefcake. And just to remind you, Starcade 93, one of the all-time great Starcade main events.
Right.
Vader and Ric Flair, the long limousine ride with Mean Gene Okerlund. Fast forward 1 year, and boy, it is a whole new WCW. Hulk Hogan is here, and so are his friends. This is going to be a crazy show, is it not?
So what happened in that 1 year? What happened to us?
Well, listen, not to be that guy, but as a reminder, the original plan was never Vader and Flair anyway. It was supposed to be Vader and Sid. And then Sid fucked around and started stabbing people. And that was the end of his main event push. So, when one of your top main attractions gets stabbed, what does WCW do? What we always do. What's Ric Flair doing? Let's call Ric Flair, slide his ass in there.
Right.
So that's what happened. And the result was just absolute in-ring magic. And now we're going to see the follow-up act with Hulk Hogan and Brutus the freaking Barber Beefcake. And we want you to watch along with us. Season 12, episode 1, as Tony's over there petting his dog or pulling his putt or combination.
No, it's the new dog. It's Bucky. He's such a good boy.
You say fucky?
Bucky. I said Bucky, motherfucker.
His last name is motherfucker?
No, that's your name. That's Bucky, motherfucker, exclamation point.
Wait, hang on. Am I Conrad motherfucker now?
You sure are.
Dude, that's...
You just realizing this on December 23rd of 2024?
Wait, is that my middle name? Am I CMFT? Conrad motherfucking Thompson? Is motherfucker my middle name?
I don't know. Ask Larry Thompson. I don't know.
Motherfucker is my middle name would be a great t-shirt. Go right now to Peacock if you don't mind and fire it up, man. Just look for Starcade. We want you to go to season 12, episode 1. Want to appreciate everybody hanging out with us. Hey, my man Jason Taylor's here. Coach Rosie's here. Rajiv is here. Bobby's here. Megan Nelson's here. Bad Money Slim is here. All the usual suspects are here on Christmas Eve's Eve. Tony, do you have any Christmas Eve traditions? Christmas Eve's Eve? On the eve of Christmas Eve, do you have any traditions?
It used to be when I was growing up, we would all go to my sister's house for Christmas Eve. And then after I got married and started having kids, we would have food here for Christmas Eve and the kids here. But now that the kids are gone, really is nothing much goes on here. We do something on Christmas Day, but not Christmas Eve. So, but I love Christmas Eve. That's the excitement of Christmas. And Lois and I would wrap the gifts for we would wrap gifts. Some gifts we wouldn't wrap, and just get the tree ready, for the present under the tree for Christmas morning, while we would watch A Wonderful Life. We watched that every Christmas Eve night, and that was the tradition that we had. So I might do it again this year. It just, that movie, really never gets old. Never. It still works all these years later.
Can I tell you I've never seen it?
Yeah, I'm sure you haven't because you're a motherfucker.
Wow.
Yeah.
That was hurtful.
You've never seen A Wonderful Life?
Nope. My family, when I was a kid, watched like the old school Rudolph and old school Frosty the Snowman.
Yeah, those two, right?
And then I got into Christmas Vacation, and I've sort of made that a tradition in my house. And
that's great too. Yeah.
A guy I work with really laid the law to me about Scrooged. And I haven't seen it in a long, long time with Bill Murray. Man, that was a good movie. I watched that again just yesterday. And we appreciate you guys joining us. We're recording on Monday night on Christmas Eve's Eve, but we know you're listening to us on Christmas Day, and we hope everyone has a great holiday. And we thank you guys for spending some of that holiday with us. We're just a couple of dudes watching wrestling. And I was watching wrestling this past weekend, and I was so excited to see AEW and Ring of Honor, for that matter, in the Hammerstein Ballroom. I know that Tony has really liked the idea of making the Wednesday before Thanksgiving a traditional show in Chicago. I think that's a cool tradition for AEW.
Right.
Do you think there's a chance, since he's trademarked Christmas Collision and Dynamite on 34th Street, that these Hammerstein Ballroom shows around Christmas could become a staple? Because that seems like fun to me.
I would like to think so. I didn't know what to expect because I had never been there before, but of course I knew about, wrestling events being there, and of course ECW being there, and I thought we had a great crowd. I thought we had a crowd that was responsive to everything that we did, and regardless of what I had heard about, well, it's a very small venue, and there's not many rooms to be able to gather in, and not many locker room space, and it worked. It worked for all of us on many, many levels, and I was able to take Lois with me, and she went over to New Jersey and hung with the grandkids over there during the entire time.
That's awesome.
That was also, it was a great weekend for us to be there. And I would hope that it's something that we can do. And, that's such a legendary ballroom for more than just wrestling. And it was first time I'd ever been in the Manhattan Center and there, and of course on 34th. And, it was a wonderful experience for us, and I thought we gave them some very good matches, and so a long answer to what you're asking. Yes, I think it's something that we can do every year, and I hope we can.
Well, we hope that you're going to join us watching Starcade 94. Fire up your Peacock, season 12, episode 1. I'm ready to let it rip, Tater Chip. You good to go on your end?
What does it fucking look like?
I don't know. I mean, do you have a goddamn countdown, or are we just going to phone that in, or what are you thinking?
No, I've got a goddamn countdown.
Okay, well, don't get hot.
Well, I'm not hot.
You ready? Sound like you're about a quarter hot.
Well, I'm not a quarter hot, not even a third hot. Okay, not
even
a quarter. Well, I don't. Yeah. Oh, so okay, I'm not even 3/4 hot. I'm
That's
not
like
fully
a lot
hot. I'm
more.
not even an eighth hot.
Are you a 16th hot?
I've been, but not today.
Oh, well, there we go. Well, I'm ready.
All righty then. And here comes the countdown. Oh, it's from DJ Turn Up.
Well, I could have guessed that.
Yeah, here we go. DJ Turn Up.
It's a shame that I couldn't find Buzz Tyler because he might have still actually known where his championship belt he stole was. Unlike you, just misplaced.
We know where we've established. We know where it is.
Hey,
we know exactly where it is.
Pipe down, you nothing happening line.
Go into Petco Field, Petco Park in San Diego.
Let me just
and it'd be easy now because they are not 100% capacity in major fucking league baseball. And go in there with a fucking mallet or a hammer and break the fucking trophy case and take it out and say, that's mine.
Let me just say, though, I just want to give everybody a heads up on what's happened here. You said on this show many years ago that it was in the attic and you were going to get it down and you were going to give it to me. It was my present. So here's what I want everyone listening to do. I want you to go to your wife and say, hey, baby, I got you a present. Here's what it is, and I'm going to get it for you in the next couple of days. I promise. And then let her ask about it for fucking years. And then when she asks where it is, tell her it's at a goddamn jewelry store on the other side of the country. Just go in there with a fucking mallet and steal the shit and say, that's mine. My husband said it was mine. That's what you just said.
Yeah, when you put it that way.
And here we are, the Municipal Auditorium, downtown Nashville, Tennessee, 1994, 30 years ago, Tony. Does it feel like it was 30 years ago?
In many ways, it feels like a million years ago. But yeah, so here we go. You know what? I don't remember Arn Anderson being with Colonel Parker and Ming. God, look at that. Look at that still shot of Arn Anderson. Stand in front yard, count the chickens in the back.
I love that. What a great line. By the way, this is the third match on the card we're about to watch. It's Johnny B. Bad defending his television championship against Arn Anderson. The two matches we missed, though, were Vader winning the U.S. title from Jim Duggan in 12 minutes and 6 seconds. And then, believe it or not, Alex Wright beat Jean-Paul Levesque, who would go on to be Triple H. Of course, this is going to be his first loss in WCW, and it's his last televised match in the company. He's on his way to work for Vince McMahon in a few months. Man, with the benefit of hindsight, we always talk about Cactus Jack. We always talk about Stone Cold. We always talk about Chris Jericho. I think we kind of forget that, oh yeah, Triple H was here too.
It's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Absolutely amazing. By the way, before we get into this match, I just want to tell Coach Rosie, I know it's not Petco, but it was Petco back then. So shut the fuck up.
Man, why do you got to get, why are you hot about that? Anyway. I think he's saying that the belt is not there in the stadium. Then
it's not in Petco?
No, he's been looking.
Has he been back in the locker rooms or anything like that? Has he been up in the offices? I don't think so.
By the way, if you were wondering, I thought I gave this out, but maybe I didn't. We started at 49.50. So we started our watch along at 49.50.
Just go back to where you hear this sound effect.
What was bigger, the Master Blaster that Mark Mero would bring to the ring, or Colonel Robert Parker's jump rope?
Well, I think they both serve their purpose. And I believe I believe right now it's the Master Blaster. I believe probably later than that night, it probably would be the jump rope.
The TV title just looked like it belonged to Arn Anderson, didn't it?
Of course. It should be forever been the Arn Anderson television title.
I agree with that. Like the
Yeah.
TV title to me is the Arn Anderson belt.
Right.
Who do you think the U.S. belt is? Like when you think of the WCW United States Champion, who do you think of?
Well, the WCW United States Champion.
Just when I say U.S. Champion, who do you think?
I think of Blackjack Mulligan.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
old school. That's how old you are.
Yeah, that is. And that's just because of my fandom. And then, of course, Luger was the U.S. champion, Barry Windham, Ric Flair, Wahoo McDaniel, Greg Valentine. I mean, just blah, 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 on and on and on of U.S. champions. Who do you think of?
You know, as crazy as it sounds, I usually think of Lex Luger, Rick Rude, Sting. I think of those guys as the U.S. champion. And I know they all went on to become world champion.
Right.
But I do think of them as being U.S. champion. And believe it or not, Dustin Rhodes, I feel like he had that belt quite a bit. Even Ricky Steamboat had it quite a bit. But I still, when I think of that belt, I think about there was a WCW magazine. If you remember, Sting had like his finger on the globe.
Yeah.
And he had that U.S. title over his shoulder. And I remember that one.
Wow.
That was a cool belt.
Yeah.
It is a cool belt. It's in my laundry room right now.
You know, now, okay, so here's why the U.S. title means so much more to me as a fan. In that, of course, back in the territory days, all right, for instance, Harley Race is the world champion, but he doesn't defend the world championship in Mid-Atlantic Championship Wrestling all the time. So in effect, the U.S. title was the biggest title in Mid-Atlantic Championship Wrestling at that time. So it was more prestigious in the territories than it was here in WCW, where it was underneath the world champion that you saw all the time. Does that make sense to you?
Yes.
Yes. So that's my feeling on that. Hey, so Johnny B. Bad here and Arn Anderson looked like he was in a pretty damn good mood coming out. And I can tell that when Arn comes out and is very, very animated. If he's animated, he's in a good mood. If he's not, well, he's not. And I guess it could be said for a lot of us. So let me ask you something. Let's see. So this was Christmas. This was the day after Christmas, right? December 26th?
It's December 27th back then.
27th, yeah. Because I always remember the day after Christmas driving towards Nashville from my house in Atlanta. Of course, I live on the northwest side of Atlanta, so it was an easy drive to get to Nashville. And I remember, I don't know, Nashville being a part of my Christmas.
For a long time. I mean,
yeah, long time.
You guys were there in 94, 95, 96, and then in 97, of course, you guys went to Washington, D.C. and told Sting, whatever you do, don't tan.
Yeah.
And history was made. By the way, history was made here. This is a real sellout in a municipal auditorium. About 7,000 paid fans, which is roughly what we had for Ric Flair's last match. I think it was 7,200, something like that. 8,200 fans total in the building. A $90,000 house, adjusted for inflation. Ric Flair still beat that one. Mm-hmm. But the show sold out 3 hours early. And that was a sight so foreign to WCW that many of the office people were out front taking photos of the box office with the sold out signs before match time. I suspect it was either close to or the all-time record house for Nashville, which has housed pro wrestling since the beginning of time. The period between Christmas and New Year's Day is traditionally one of the two easiest periods of the year to draw fans to wrestling, Thanksgiving weekend being the other. And I suspect that will make the buy rate surprisingly decent when it comes out. But if this card would have taken place at any other time, I doubt there would have been much interest at all. With the exception of a lengthy post-match locker room showdown with Hogan and Vader to set up Super Brawl from Baltimore, nothing on the show was either good or memorable.
Wow.
That's from Dave Meltzer in the Wrestling Observer back in 1994. Of
course, we were now in the Hogan era, right? So
yep.
I really think the fact that Hogan had put a lot more eyes on our promotion because he was with us.
Yes.
Helped this gate tremendously.
By the way, the show itself, the readers of the Wrestling Observer gave this 8.4% thumbs up,
Wow.
13.3% thumbs in the middle, 78.3% thumbs down, Tony.
Do you know what a lot of times is the reason for a thumbs down or a thumbs up?
I don't.
I do.
What's that?
Final match, how you left feeling.
Hmm.
If the final match was great, it was a kick-ass match, you leave that pay-per-view if you're there, or turn off your television thinking, I just saw something fucking phenomenal, thumbs up, even though the matches below may have been the shits. So that's how important the last match is. And not only that, that is how important the finish of the last match is. I've always thought that, and I really think that in many ways that's true. Leave it feeling good. And obviously, Brutus the Barber Beefcake is not going to leave them feeling good
No.
in a main event. So
We're watching a heck of a match here with Mark Mero and Arn Anderson. Believe it or not, they got a little bit of time too. They're going to go 11 minutes and 21 seconds and only got 1 star in the Observer. Somebody who's been collecting stars like they were going out of style for a while, though, Ricochet.
yeah,
He was on the shows this past weekend and had quite a match, man. I couldn't believe we got to see Will Ospreay and Ricochet inside the Hammerstein ballroom. I was even more shocked when fans threw toilet paper. I know that,
yeah,
it's tradition to throw streamers in Japan, but
yeah.
I thought Ricochet had an interesting response, but I saw a hilarious tweet as a result of that. I don't know if you saw this, Tony, but this made me laugh out loud. I'm going to show
Okay.
you the photo and I want you to read the tweet because,
Okay.
boy, I belly laughed.
Okay, here we go. Let's see the tweet. You wipe from the front, balls probably be itchy as hell. Oh, that's from Faye.
Uh,
I know Faye.
Tony, when you wipe your ass, do you go front to back or do you wipe from the front? Or, I mean, you stand it up and lift and separate, or what's the Schiavone way of wiping one's asshole?
That's a very private thing, Conrad, that I would rather not share with you and our
Ricochet
listeners.
wiped his ass on TV. You can tell us.
No, I can't.
Oh, that's private.
That's private. Yes.
You've described your penis as a button on a fur coat.
No, you described it as a button on a fur coat.
You did. I've never seen that little thing.
Okay.
A lot of people haven't.
Lois hasn't seen it in decades.
That's not true. Well, I don't know if she saw it in Baltimore, but she felt a little bit of it. Come on now.
What happened What happened when? Tony got some. 2019.
Just 61 short months ago. What's wrong with us?
Oh, we're crazy. Hey, and by the way, guys, we're coming up on our 8th year of doing this stuff.
How fucking wild is that, dude?
Right.
And just to think, so much of it is accidentally Big Bill's fault,
I know.
I blame him.
Yeah. Congratulations, Big Bill and Lexi on their wedding.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Couldn't happen. Couldn't happen to a better guy. I mean, just one of the best. Absolutely one of the best.
Derek Zoo is with us, and he says, Merry Christmas, guys. Tony, hope to see you in Knoxville next month. Yeah, you guys are making a little loop through the South. Going to be in Knoxville and Huntsville, and that's going to be fun.
Yeah, we're also going to be in Clarksville, Tennessee.
I'll be there.
You're going to go up to Clarksville for that?
I might go to Clarksville.
Okay.
It's not too far.
You going to take the last train? Thank you very much.
I don't know what you just said.
The Monkees, the last train to Clarksville. One of the great hits of the 60s. Take the last train to Clarksville. And
Hang on. Wait, the Monkees. Were they in the WWF?
Oh, yeah. Do you have a thing called Chat GPT? Or do you have a thing called Microsoft, what's the Copilot? You got that?
I mean, are you making up words right now?
Yeah, okay. Just
Megan Nelson's with us, and she says,
I know.
No. Oh, I'm sorry. I'll just shut the fuck up. No offense, Tony.
Okay.
I don't want to hear about your wiping rituals. I have to watch the growing pains on Growing Pains channel on Pluto TV. Are you a Growing Pains guy, Tony?
No, not really. I like the Monkeys though. Back in the '60s, they just made me laugh.
How do you think they wipe their ass?
I'd never ask how they wipe their ass.
Hey, we're the Monkeys.
People say we wipe our ass this way.
We got itchy balls. By the way, I was thinking, I don't know if you've heard this, but there's a narrative out there that AEW over delivers on pay-per-view. Have you heard that?
I don't. Is it? I think that would be impossible to over deliver. Although over deliver would be kind of a subjective thing, right?
I'm just saying it feels like on pay-per-view, man, they give you more than your money's worth with AEW. And you've got another big one coming up. World's End is coming up this weekend. Can't believe it's already here. And what an incredible card it's going to be. I'm going to be watching on pay-per-view on Triller TV. I'm going to make my whole family watch it. It's going to be great. Strap Megan down to the couch and make her watch it. Yikes. But you can actually go see it in person in Orlando. Yeah. Tickets are on sale now at AEWTIX.com. And man, that main event, the big four-way dance with Moxley, Hangman Adam Page, and Orange Cassidy, and Jay White. This is a star-studded affair. But the downside is, Tony, occasionally, sometimes, these shows can go a little long. Maybe a little.
Yeah, tell my voice that.
Well, I was thinking about you because, our old pal JR, he always used to say, Tony, the key to doing TV, I shouldn't do that, is you got to be ready to do it the whole time. And sometimes that means you just got to be a man about things. You got to wear darks.
Yeah, I've heard that story before.
So here's what I was getting to. I don't know if you've seen this, but there is a new product out there that wasn't necessarily designed for you and JR at the broadcast desk. But I was thinking this might be the perfect gift for you to give JR or Taz or Excalibur. Have you seen this, Tony? It was made for mosh pits, but now I say it's for AEW commentary.
Okay.
It's a $75 leather mosh pit diaper that lets you pee yourself at concerts. So you can just sit there, call in your AEW Dynamite, your Collision, your pay-per-view, your 0 hour, your post-show scrub. You can do it all and just have this leather diaper under your pants. Man, just let it rip, Tater Chip.
Yeah, you see, I've maybe in about 10 to 15 years, I'll need something like that in real life, just walking around, But right now, I don't. And let me tell you why I don't need something like that. By the way, there's me and Heenan together.
Back when y'all were on speaking terms.
Yep. Back when he liked me. I always liked him. So anyway, that mosh pit diaper, whatever it is not for me. And let me tell you why. This is a truism. See this monster right here? Shouldn't be drinking at 10 o'clock at night, but it doesn't bother me. I'll go to sleep anyway.
Oh, wow.
But I got a lot more work to do tonight. Anyway, hold on a second. What
a great
before I finish the story.
Watching right now.
Yeah, we are seeing Bill Apter here at the Stouffer's Hotel and Resorts. I guess he's going to give Hulk Hogan.
Well, no, first the Nasty Boys are here.
Oh, the Nasty Boys are going to win Tag Team of the Year?
Look who's awarding them that, too. It's not just Bill Apter. Who's that other handsome fellow on the right?
Yes, that's Nick Bockwinkel, the president of WCW. I think we called him the president at that time.
What do you think Jerry Sags is saying?
He said, look at this. Schiavone, if you bite into a kind of bar with all the nuts in it like I did, you're going to have one tooth in the front of your face just like me. Right, brother? That's exactly right, baby. Let me say this. We never sold shit in the ring. And we tatered a lot of people. And we also claimed we were too stupid to know what we were doing. But we knew we were doing every time. Tatering people. Ha, 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 ha. Ah, give me that. Ha, ha, ha. I guess we are going to just piecemeal this one out, right? Oh, by the way, I don't know if it aired on social media yet, but when we were in, I guess Washington, I guess
Why are y'all plugging the Stockyard, the steakhouse in Nashville? Why are you plugging that?
I don't know, but it's closed down now.
Yeah. Did you ever eat there?
Yeah, a couple
I did
times.
too.
Yeah.
Motherfuckers getting their Mickey Mouse on in there with the white gloves.
Yeah, it was good stuff. I thought it was good stuff. Nashville's a cool fucking city, dude. God,
Yeah.
if you don't like Nashville, I mean, it's not like Gunnersville or Craigsville, but it's really freaking cool. Anyway, back to the story. So the other night, we're doing on Saturday Live, we're doing Collision, right?
Yep.
I had 4 of these that day. Had one at breakfast, had one at lunch, had one during warm-ups, and had one during the show. I did not pee all day until I went back after the show to the hotel.
Wow. You're dehydrated.
You think that's what it is?
Yeah. You should drink water. You need water.
Okay. Well, thank you for saying that because there it is. So I just thought I had a big bladder. I don't know.
No, you don't have enough water.
Okay.
You should be peeing all day, Tony.
I don't pee all day.
Yeah, but that's you need water, motherfucker.
Need water, motherfucker.
You need, yeah. Conrad motherfucker Thompson.
This is Deer Park water. It's not water, motherfucker.
Adam wants to know what color was your pee? Orange?
Okay. No, you know what, Adam?
Motherfucker.
It's what if that's Des Moines?
He didn't say anything shitty, so probably not.
Yeah. Well, you know,
Oh wait, never mind. Good thing it's black. He's talking about the diaper.
okay.
So it will cover up Tony's white Depends.
Yeah, that's him. Okay.
Yeah, that's
that's him.
took me a minute.
I thought since Adam and his wife Cassia had their firstborn, a beautiful little girl, that he may have mellowed out a little bit.
Nope.
I was wrong.
Yeah.
So what were you saying? So my pee, by the way, is a very, very light colored yellow.
And that's yeah, you know, we don't need all this.
Because of, well, you asked me a few minutes ago how I wipe my ass.
Well, that's funny.
Well, this pee is too, because, and the reason it's a light color yellow is because of all the supplements I take. And I take a lot of supplements. That person in front row didn't give a shit about anything, did he?
No, he did not. And
He
is not really fired up about seeing the Nasty Boys in Harlem Heat. And by the way, this is easily the best match on the show, according to Meltzer. And he says, but to say they stole the show would mean they were guilty of petty theft. 2.25 stars. That is the most Nashville haircut of all time.
You're not kidding. This is the best match on the show, and I got 2.5 or 1/4 stars or whatever.
Yeah, because after this it's Mr. T and Kevin Sullivan. Then it's Sting and Avalanche.
Yeah.
Then it's Hulk Hogan and the Butcher, bud.
Oh.
So we're going to entertain ourselves during this one, and I want you. I don't know if you've. I'm sure you've at least heard that people are experimenting with THC products now. Like, have you heard that people are eating gummies, Tony? Have you heard about this?
I've heard about that. Yes.
Well, there's a new drug out there, maybe a mystery drug. And I thought it would be prudent if you gave everyone a little bit of a warning as we get ready to have a big 2025 of all the dangers that are out there. So if you don't mind, I'd love to have a testimonial appear on the screen, and you could just read that testimonial about this drug that you need to be on the lookout for in 2025. Here you go, Tony.
It's cocksucker drug. Man, I heard about this, right? Okay. I can't remember what drug it was, but in college it was.
Keep going. You can't peter out already.
No, as professional announcers do, you read the first line, but you're reading the second line as you read the first line, and the second line is you're reading in your mind. And as I'm reading the first line, my mind is going to the second line until it stopped at the word dick. And then immediately my second mind said, stop. Okay. Okay. That's terrible. and only on live WHW Monday night. What happened when?
Can you read the last two sentences?
Well, Dave, would you put that back up? Oh, no, as a matter of fact, Dave, would you read the last two sentences for me? Let's bring in our fellow resident.
Dave, you can just bring in audio for you so you can read
Yeah.
it, because I know you need the towel. But the last two sentences is really what I'm looking
Okay,
for.
Okay, go ahead.
I don't want to be a cocksucker. But when I was on this drug, I didn't want to be anything other than a cocksucker. I hate that I live with the knowledge of what it feels like to have a cock inside my mouth.
So be on the lookout, boys and girls. This drug is out there. I don't know what the street nickname is, but I guess it's being nicknamed the cocksucker drug.
Mm.
Do you think you've known somebody who maybe had been dosed with the cocksucker drug?
Never in my life. Never in my life. Is there some of that I can put in Lois's whiskey?
What's where I was getting to? I was like, Tony, if you're thinking what I'm thinking, it could be a Christmas miracle if we could get our hands on this in the Mariota area. This fucking could be the best Christmas. It's a Christmas miracle.
It's a Christmas miracle. Dun, 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 dun.
Are they a new sponsor of ours, Conrad?
No.
Can I look that up? Can I use promo code WHW?
And then us watching A Wonderful Life late at night would come true.
Every time Lois pops a wiener in his mouth, an angel gets his wings. My God, what's wrong with us?
What's wrong with you? You're the one that starts all this. You're the one that put up that thing about that drug. You're the one.
I don't even know how to put things on the fucking screen here.
You're the one. It's your fault.
Rajiv says, coming this Christmas. Oh, that's so funny.
That's good.
Man, these guys are having a hell of a match here for real.
Well, yeah.
I love the Nasty Boys, though.
I told you that Heenan was afraid of them, right?
Yeah.
Because he thought that they were just so out of control that they would either hurt somebody or, especially when we were at ringside, that they would end up hurting us. And of course, we all remember the Brian Pillman scenario, which it just showed you how afraid that Heenan was at ringside for something happening. So, yeah, be that as it may, I always thought the Nasty Boys always gave you a pretty good effort. Now they didn't do much but brawl, right? I mean,
right.
Forearm, clothesline. We used to do this thing where in the back when we would voice over matches for like Worldwide or something, we would count the number of forearms and we would all, have a pool about, or count the number of clotheslines, about how many clotheslines there would be. So I don't know how many there has been in this match so far, but if you'd like to, we can all together count and see how many clotheslines you think remain in this match. Right now we were at 1, 16, 20, 21, 22. There's a fucked up.
We'll start counting them.
We'll start counting them and we'll see if in effect, because that's what the Nasty Boys did a lot of. Clotheslines. There's one. I guess that's one. There's an elbow shot.
Yeah, we'll count it. We can round up here.
Okay. Yeah, we round up. Okay.
Adam says the Nasty Boys always look like they walked off the set of Escape from New York. I like that. It feels like they're bad guys. They're just like hoodlums in a RoboCop.
Yeah. Like right.
They're like the enforcers for the big boss.
Right. And they're clubbering right now.
They're clubbering, Tony.
Absolutely, they are.
Hey, speaking of clubbering, I don't know what you thought about it over the weekend, but I know that you're a big fan of Karen Jarrett.
I sure am.
I'm a big fan of Karen Jarrett as well, and I know what a big fan she was of Sherry Martel. And I
Right.
saw over the weekend QT Marshall and his lovely wife recreated NWO Randy Savage and Miss Elizabeth
Right.
to take on the Black Machismo Jay Lethal,
Right.
and in his corner, Scary Karen. How great was that? She did her
Yes.
makeup old school.
Yeah.
I just love the homage that she did for Sensational Sherry. We don't celebrate Sherry enough, and I was glad that Karen got the spot and
Yeah.
thought she did a great job.
Yeah. Listen, I have a lot of time for Karen, and of course her husband, uh, and of course Cody and her son, and I just a lovely person, and just has just a treat to be able to deal with. And of course, she's like me, where she loves animals and loves dogs, loves cats, and she and I have collectively tried to get more animals in her house, to the dismay of her husband, who has threatened legitimately, seriously, if I keep it up, he is going to kick my ass.
I believe it too. He does
Yeah,
not want any more animals.
yeah, yeah, yeah. He does not, because he showed up one day and they had a new cat named Buzz, and he was really pissed off. And of course, I thought it was funny, and I just, as you do, kind of rubbed it in, where I say, "How's Buzz doing?" every time
Yeah.
I'd see him. Um, but anyway, Karen Jarrett, just I'm so glad I got to meet her, and hey, you know what? I'm how lucky are we in AEW to have Jeff Jarrett with us,
No doubt.
for many reasons, not only because of a great performer and a great promo, old school promo, I might add, knowing how to do it, but because he knows so much about the business. He's done so many things.
Yeah.
We're just very, very fortunate to have Jeff Jarrett with us.
Shout out to Jeff. By the way, since we're talking about AEW this past weekend, how many revolutions did Claudio sling Darby? Do you know the number?
I do not.
I mean, it felt like for fucking ever.
I know, and I was wondering, how does he not just fall on his ass after he does that?
I don't know. It's like I was watching with my dad, and my dad was like, because we're watching football, so we had two screens going, and he's like, "Son, how long's he been doing this?" I go, "Dad, I don't know how much longer he's going to go, but he's going to go a while." And he kept going, and he's like, "Hey, it's cool, but ain't he going to be dizzy too?" And I go, "It's a good thinking, Dad. It's good."
Yeah, yeah. Just, I guess, because Claudio is just on another level, on many level, than
Strength wise, no
yeah,
doubt.
yeah. And there's another guy I'm so glad I got to meet and work with. And you know what? I've been talking about all these clotheslines. I haven't seen one. I've seen one so far.
You jinxed it.
Yeah, I sure did jinx it.
Hey, speaking of jinxing it, nobody jinxed it for Commander. Man, how cool is it that Commander is now the Ring of Honor television champion?
Yeah, we have a couple of really. Look, that was so shitty right there. He couldn't even pick Sags up. He was going to drop him across and could not. Anyway, we are fortunate to have some great kids with us, like Commander, like Black Taurus, or I'm sorry, the Beast Mortos, and like Bandito. This just great kids that we've brought over here from Mexico. And of course, then there's Roosh and Dralistica. Roosh and I have a real great relationship. And Roosh, he fits the bill, doesn't he? As a badass, he comes across as just
Yes.
a badass. Does that leg lariat count as a lariat? Maybe.
No. Hey, speaking of badasses,
Yeah.
the biggest badass in all of Ring of Honor
Uh-huh.
made their return this past weekend. Danhausen back in Ring of Honor. Man, what a character that dude is.
I know.
I did not expect to see a Danhausen sighting, but that was super fun.
I know. I don't know why. I didn't know he was going to show up, and I guess that's the best, because
Yeah.
when he first showed up on AEW, I didn't realize he was there as well. So, and you know what? Here's how stupid I am. when he showed up in AEW for the first time, I saw him backstage, but I didn't know that was Danhausen, right? Without his makeup and everything.
Right, right.
So I saw this guy walking around backstage, and then when I saw Danhausen appear, I still didn't put two and two together. But that was pretty cool that he appeared, and it was great that. How about Chris Jericho coming out looking like the Statue of Liberty?
To New York, New York, Frank Sinatra. My God.
Jeez. He knows how to do it up, doesn't he? He knows how to do it.
There's no doubt.
Yeah. Chris Jericho knows how to do it. 1, 2. No, he kicked out Conrad. I got to get my voice warmed up.
You know what else you got to get warmed up?
That would be what?
That big hog meat, because BlueChew.com is our sponsor today. Does BlueChew work? Well, if you're asking that question, if you really want to know if BlueChew works, I want you to know that they're putting their money where their mouth is. They're giving you 1 month free. BlueChew is an online service that delivers you the same active ingredients as Viagra, Cialis, and Levitra, but at a fraction of a cost and in a chewable form. The process is simple. You just sign up at BlueChew.com. You consult with one of their licensed medical providers, and once you're approved, you'll receive your prescription within days. BlueChew's tablets are made in the USA. They're prepared and shipped directly to your door, and the best part is it's all done online. That means no visits to the doctor's office, no awkward conversation, no waiting in line at the pharmacy. Take them anytime, day or night, so you can plan ahead or be ready whenever an opportunity arises. We've got a special deal for our listeners. Try BlueChew free.
Free?
Just pay $5 shipping and checkout, Tony, when you visit BlueChew.com. That's BlueChew.com to receive your first month free. Visit BlueChew.com for more details and important safety information. And we thank BlueChew for sponsoring What Happened When? And Tony's Button on a Fur Coat.
Ding, 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 so to speak.
Did you ever think your dick would be so over as it is in 2024?
Your
dick has never had more press than it does right now in 2024.
Yeah, I don't know if that's good or not.
Well, these people.
If I was still on the market, that may be good, but I'm not on the market. So,
what is the market?
Well, I mean, I'm married.
Oh, this little piggy went to the market. This little piggy stayed at home.
Of course, that's it. You got it.
Yeah. Okay. Hey, speaking of wieners, I think we've got a little video about wieners. You want to see it? Here it goes.
Oh, brother.
Prick, Peter, cock, rod, dick, meat, ding dong, wand, wiener, tool, joint.
So that's a teacher.
Yeah.
Teaching a class all the different words that can be used to describe penis.
Yeah.
Did you have a favorite growing up? Like, what was the word that you used? We see Coach Rosie chiming in. He's a big schlong guy. He loves the schlong.
Yeah. Could I see that again to see if it was on the list?
Yeah, let's see it. Here we go.
Prick, Peter, cock, rod, dick, meat, ding dong, wand, wiener, tool, joint.
Oh, well, I guess Peter would been it as a kid, but what made me laugh more than anything was Johnson. Yeah.
Did you ever use pee-pee?
Pee-pee. Oh, no, I as a verb. I have to go.
So you would go pee-pee.
Go pee-pee, yeah.
But you never called it your pee-pee.
No, that's what we tell the dogs. We're in the backyard all the time at night before we get ready.
Oh, you say go pee-pee?
Go pee-pee.
Do they know what that means?
Yeah, they do. They go pee-pee. Okay.
Now, when you want them to shit on command, what do you say then?
I say, go pee-pee.
And they shit instead?
Sometimes, yes.
So that's when you hit them with a baseball bat or whatever you do?
No, don't do that to dogs. No. But you just let them poop and then you let them pee-pee.
Now, I've heard that not all pee-pee times are poo-poo times, but all poo-poo times are pee-pee times.
Yes, that's the correct. You should know. You should know that from poo-pooing.
I actually poo-pooed and pee-peed before we clicked record tonight.
Same time.
I was a couple minutes late because I had to let the washlet do its thing. You know what I mean?
Oh, that's right. You got them washlets.
Yeah, I want to be clean on the back 40.
Yeah. So, by the way, Adam Demouy is not a fan of those washlets.
Well, he probably likes a dirty ass.
No, he doesn't. But his business likes for you to wipe it clean. You see.
Dave Silva, stupid ass Dave Silva. He says he was a big ding dong guy.
Really?
So, yeah, huge ding dong guy.
Yeah.
I mean, he doesn't have, you know what I mean.
Yeah. Can Dave be seen on camera, or is he naked, or
no? I mean, do you want him to be? I can
of
give
course.
him.
I think it's a very enjoyable part of what we do is seeing his friendly face.
You want him to pull his ding dong out on
No,
YouTube?
his friendly face on camera.
Adam says we started advertising on AEW. By the way, what does that mean?
His product.
What is his product?
He works for Georgia Pacific, and they do a lot of paper products.
Oh, I got you. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm with you now. I'm following.
And that's why he doesn't want you to use the washlet. He wants you to use the paper.
No, I got you. Yeah, he likes when you just rub dry paper on your dirty asshole.
No, but because there's been a lot of talk that, and I don't want to shed bad light on washlets, but it could be a dangerous thing to use at times.
Oh yeah, because putting water in your asshole, that's pretty scary. I mean, I've been doing it in the shower my whole life, but I mean, it could fall out. I don't know.
No,
We'll
I mean, I'm talking about. Never mind.
I'm not using it internally. I'm not inserting.
You think you're not? Oh, they're giving Sherry a pity city right now. How about that?
God.
And look at her roll. Look at her sell it. Oh man, just
what a great salesman.
Just flailing.
I mean, that would have made Dolph Ziggler jealous right there.
Oh God, just flopping around the ring. She goes to the apron and she's still down. I always thought that the pity city thing was a pretty cool thing to do, right? They were just big gross guys, and you would imagine that they smelled, and why not use it?
Yeah, I hit my daughter with a pity city in the pool once.
Yeah, that would be. Now there you go. She goes to spray and she sprays Stevie. She worked the spray too. Should have shown
and then goes
that.
to the top rope barefoot, but in stockings and a evening gown dress, and down she comes with a big splash, accidentally on Buckeye. And then Sags gets the pit ready, and bam, there it is. Dude, I mean, she really went in there.
Oh. And then
wow, how about that?
That probably helped that match get those 2.5 stars, I think.
Best match on the show. Still to come, we've got Mr. T and Kevin Sullivan.
Yeah. So here, let me ask you this, as we're talking about matches, and I've thought about this a lot, and now would be a good time to bring it up. And our listeners or viewers who are watching us right now can chime in as well. What makes a match? Oh, good God.
Do you see what's happening right here?
Yeah, I do.
We got a plug for the WCW hotline where they're talking about backstage access.
Yes.
You see Jimmy Hart holding the big gold belt.
Yeah.
Hulk Hogan cutting a promo, staring down the barrel of the camera and holding the microphone.
And don't say his name.
Wearing a tuxedo jacket, but khaki pants. That threw me off.
Yeah. So anyway, so what defines a 5-star match in your opinion? Is it a good wrestling match? Is it a match with a lot of spectacular moves like top rope, moonsaults, shooting star press, table shots, a lot of spectacular, what we would call, I don't know, stunts, let's say? Is it just a good mat wrestling? Is it a good story? Or is a 5-star match have none of those, but you leave it thinking I was entertained? So that's my question. And because I think, and right now we're watching Sting get an award from Bill Apter. And
they spared no expense on those awards either, those plaques.
Yeah.
Most popular wrestler of the year, no surprise. Yeah. Sting sans face paint.
Yeah.
With the blonde hair spiked up a little bit, not a flat top, but spiked up a little bit. What do you think of those sunglasses he's sporting?
That's pretty cool. That's like I don't know how
Some
to describe.
fashion shit right there. That's some
Yeah,
Brian Pillman shit.
yeah, that is, man. Yeah,
Got the black leather jacket on, the black t-shirt.
yeah,
Yeah, I'm interested in hearing from our studio audience today. What do you
yeah,
guys think makes a 5-star match?
yeah,
As we're about to hear from Mean Gene Okerlund,
yeah,
who's holding the stick for
yeah,
Sting, who's now ready to roll in
yeah.
the very colorful paint. What do you think Sting is saying here, Tony?
Well, Gina said, coming up later on tonight, I have no idea what it is because this is Tony Schiavone using my voice, but you can call 1-900-909-9900 right now, and we will let you know whether Sting wipes from front to back or back to front. Sting, I got a question for you. Washlet or toilet paper made by Adam DeMuy? Well, let me tell you something, Gene. I use them both. I, first of all, start with the toilet paper by Adam DeMuy, and I wipe, that is, back to front, and then I'd use the washlet. Now, you can't spread those cheeks too wide with a washlet because that water could shoot right up in there. And then if you got well water, you don't know what's in it. It could be a bunch of, well, let's say there's carbon in it, and there could be some sort of copper in it. What about silver and nickel? You don't want that up your ass, do you? Absolutely not. So let me say this. You need to use both. But make sure, Gene, that the asshole's clenched. Woo! Before it's over with. Get out of here. So there's a good advice from Sting.
Probably exactly what he said.
Yeah, it's probably exactly what he said. So, you know, sometimes you can take a real shitty match, I think, with two guys who really are not that good of wrestlers and come up with something very, very entertaining and have a great match. Or you can take two guys who are not the greatest workers in the world and come up with a great match. And to me, the one match that sticks out in my mind is Hulk Hogan against the Ultimate Warrior in WrestleMania 6, because neither one the greatest worker in the world. But
Right.
that match was done so well. And of course, as legend has it, history has it, Pat Patterson set the whole thing up. But that match was done so well, and it played on Hulk Hogan's, finish that everybody thought he was going to, the big leg, the big drop, and get the win. And he didn't. And to me, I walk away from that match. And of course, I was working for the WWE at that time, but I walk away from the match saying, that was a great fucking match. Now, was it a 5-star match? Probably not, but it was a great match. And not all matches have to be a quote unquote 5-star matches for you to enjoy it. So I read and hear all the time, 5 stars, 4 stars. I get it. Everybody wants a rating point. Everybody likes lists. Everybody likes stars. But to me, forget stars. Did you enjoy the match or you didn't enjoy the match? And I really think that's the key. What about Mr. T coming out here looking like a referee?
But he was wearing like the night before Christmas sleeping hat.
Right.
I mean, how would you describe that?
A night before Christmas sleeping hat with a referee shirt on. I don't get it. When he first walked out, I'm thinking, is he going to referee this thing? I'm not sure. As we know, well, as I knew, and most of us know, Kevin did a good job of feeding Mr. T that time. Kevin could be a little stiff in the ring when he wanted to.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So I'm wondering Santa Claus has arrived.
He's a little late. He's 2 days late.
Yeah. Is this Dave Sullivan? I believe it's Dave.
It is.
Right. Dave's coming out. And of course, we're going to show Dave and not show the match.
Well, it's Mr. T wrestling.
Right.
I mean, if you can call it that. This is some campy, cartoony bullshit. Not the best.
Right.
I don't know what, I mean, it got a dud rating, so it's a long way from 5 stars. But Coach Rosie says a 5-star match for me is one that ends a long story with a great ending that makes my heart full of joy.
Okay. So,
Rajiv says a combination of a great story and a solid match is 5 stars to me. Jason Taylor says, tell a great story, good violence, believable. The CM Punk Drew McIntyre Hell in a Cell match was 5 stars all the way. I agree with him. I don't know that you saw that this summer, or maybe it was this fall.
I
But
did.
they had a Hell in a Cell match, Drew McIntyre and CM Punk.
Uh-huh.
Dude, it's probably the match of the year. It was one that I had to be in Huntsville. I was driving home to Gunnersville, and on the way, I realized, oh man, the show's on. So I fire it up. I've got it playing in my car on the way, so I'm kind of hearing it and seeing it at red lights. But when I get to the house, I sat in the garage for 20 minutes and finished it on my phone. Like, oh man, I can't believe they got me, but they got me. I'm into it. I think CM Punk and Drew McIntyre, that's a 5-star for me this year.
So it was a good story there as well.
Great story. Adam DeMoy has a suggestion that I know you personally will love.
Uh-huh.
A 5-star match is any match that involves Disco Inferno.
I agree. That is, if your rating point is 1 to 100.
Okay.
Yeah. Give it a 5-star out of 100.
Not that good.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Coach Rosie says the Swerve versus Hangman match was 5 stars. And of course, that's that crazy match with the cinder block and the injection to the jaw, which to me was like, what the fuck are we doing? I mean, we've gone from that to putting bags over people's heads and putting cleater down the throat. Why not try to do something different? But I thought that was kind of wild, and that was a pretty good match. I still go back to, I thought that the other night when we were in Columbus, Ohio, Mark Briscoe and Kyle Fletcher had a tremendous match. I was entertained by that.
Super fun. Yeah, I agree.
Right. And I still go back to the Young Bucks against Kenny Omega and Hangman Adam Page for the World Tag Team Championship back at Revolution in Chicago right before the pandemic hit. To me, that was one of the best matches I'd ever seen. That just sticks with me, and I've seen a lot of great ones. And it's amazing how many great AEW matches I've seen that Kenny Omega has been a part of. So anyway, I think we're all in agreement. It's not necessarily a good wrestling match. It's
well, that really depends. Like if you cruise over to cagematch.com,
yeah,
and you look at what the matches that have been rated 5 stars, I mean, you'll see Okada's name appears 14 times. Kenny Omega's name appears 15 times.
Right.
Will Ospreay's name appears 9 times.
Right.
Kurt Angle's name appears twice. So there's a lot going on with, what people think.
Sure.
About, I mean, even Shawn Michaels, who most people regard as being
the best,
one of the all-time greats. Yeah, he's got 5 that are in the top 100 over at Cage Match, but not all those are 5 stars.
Right. So again, it's you go away from it where you entertained, and that is telling me that people have gone away from or left Shawn Michaels matches being entertained. Fuck the stars.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I used to think. I mean, I really, honestly, sincerely mean this. I have always believed that the star rating for matches predated the internet.
Uh-huh.
These matches were harder to get your hands on. If you remember TV Guide way back when, before a show aired, they would have a critic throw a review up there. This got 2 stars, this got 3 stars.
Right.
So they're letting you know what the critics think of this show, how well it's received. And I remember being a Wrestling Observer subscriber, say 97, and I would get the older prior years, like the yearbooks, 94, 95, 96, things like that. And I would see what matches that Dave rated highly, and then I would seek them out on the Tape Trading Network. It was like a director to me of, hey, go out of your way to see this. If you enjoy wrestling, you'll enjoy this match and this story. It was less about I'm going to sit down and consume the entire All Japan show. I wanted to see that one match that was highly rated, got great reviews.
Right.
And I think now in this internet era where we all have access to all of the video in the world, we could watch wrestling 24/7 until we die.
Right. And never see it all.
Yeah. And never see it all. So I think now it's less important to sort of curate and go out of your way to see. And I think as a result, I just view it as, hey man, we're the fans who paid money whether that is the fans in the building or on pay-per-view, were they entertained? Are they happy? Are they coming back? And if they're loud and they're rambunctious and they're making a lot of noise, I'm for it. I know this sounds crazy, but to me, a 5-star match is a match that gets me emotionally invested. And when I give a shit about what's going on and I get sort of lost in the story, that's what a 5-star match is. And if I find myself cheering in my own living room, that's a 5-star match, because it's less about the critical, or all the moves crisp, how are the transitions. It's more about, hey man, do I want to see more of it? Would I go out of my way to see it again? That's, or as Coach Rosie says, it fills my heart with fucking joy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are all great points. And you know, the 5-star rating point is everywhere.
Yeah.
If we've all bought things on Amazon, every product on Amazon has a 5-star rating, up to a 5-star rating. And you look at those ratings. Sometimes I look at those ratings, think sometimes it's probably the competitors getting someone to buy it and not like it. And then even you go to Uber and you rate an Uber driver up to 5 stars. And so 5 stars are everywhere, but stars be damned. It's how you feel about the match.
What do you think Mean Gene's saying here?
Yeah. All right. Well, once again, we are coming to you. Can you believe tonight that Brutus the Barber Beefcake is going to be in the main event? Hey, put that cigarette out. What the fuck? Here he comes. Hollywood, Hulk Hogan, Hulk, coming up tonight. Brutus the Barber Beefcake. I've got to tell you, he is going to be in the main event. And I was wondering if you could tell the fans exactly how that all transpired. I know Hulkamania is running wild here right now in WCW. That's what he said. And I don't know what Hogan said, with the exception of, well, you know something, Mean Gene. That's what I know he said. Okay. Okay.
Hey man, I love Jimmy Hart holding the big gold there. You want to talk about my childhood? This might be it in the picture right here. I mean, Hulk Hogan, Jimmy Hart, the big gold belt, and Mean Gene Okerlund. Come on.
Yeah. Hey, Coach Rosie has a great question.
Oh, does he?
Okay. Yeah. That's one. Okay. Or better yet, in your opinion, Tony, how many 5-star announcing performances have you had? In my opinion, Coach Rosie, 0. And I'm sincere about that.
Hulk Hogan, you can go straight to hell, 5 stars.
Well, maybe that line is, but I don't know if that's. I was thinking about a whole match, you know.
Yeah.
So I just, and I don't. I just. It's about the match, man. It's not about the announcer. I mean, we obviously, you know, as JR said, try to have a match without announcer. See how what happens there, and he's right. But I just think the focus should be, and it goes back to this. Oddly enough, I'm glad we brought that question up, Coach Rosie, because I know there's been a small amount of heat that I've taken for my non-reaction to Darby Allin on that face-to-face or that sit-down that we had when he hit himself in the jaw and bled.
That was crazy, dude. What a visual.
Yeah, that was crazy. And even Tony Khan said, boy, you just didn't really react to it much. And it's kind of like, dude, I've seen this guy jump off of a ladder onto a plate glass window. I've seen him get thrown down the stairs head first. I've seen him break his ankle. I've seen him just do crazy things, hitting himself in the mouth during one of the interviews. And that's going to have me go, oh my God. No, it's Darby Allin.
Right.
You know, that's what it is. And, was I shocked in my mind when it happened? Yeah, I was kind of shocked in my mind, but I'm not going to go, oh, geez, yeah, because that's me doing. That's not the story here. Visually, the story is him hitting himself in the mouth, and I probably could have sold a little bit better, but it didn't shock me. Okay. Now, if I'm interviewing Mariah May and she does it, okay, then I'm going to go, whoa, what just happened? But Darby Allin, no. Absolutely.
Hey, speaking of AEW wrestlers, have I told you my favorite wrestler of all time is Jeff Jarrett, but my second favorite wrestler right now
No, you've not, but go ahead.
Penelope Ford.
Really?
Dude, you want to talk? First of all, nice person.
Yep.
Secondly, so improved. I was so impressed with her match with Chris Statlander. She was pulling out moves and things that I was like, wait,
Yeah.
Penelope Ford can do all this? Like,
Right.
I was really impressed.
Yeah, and of course she's absolutely gorgeous too.
Oh, is she? I didn't even notice.
No, of course you didn't. And not only that, she is just a solid person, just a good person. So, you know, she's easy. If you work behind the scenes, she's easy to cheer for. She's easy for you to want to do well. Not everybody's like that. Through the wrestling years, I've not always saw a person go out there and do well and think, "Oh, I'm so glad for that person." But Penelope's one of them.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well said. I'd like to see her in every Dynamite, every Rampage, every Collision.
Wow.
Just get her on all the if Tony Schiavone's got to be there, so does Penelope Ford.
Well, you are really, really going overboard with this now. Really, really.
I'm just kidding. I really need Double J on all those shows.
Yeah.
Well, why do you think you have to go to every show and nobody else does? I feel like it's Tony Khan and you. Y'all have to go to every show.
Well, it's not just me and Tony Khan.
White Man
But
Street.
yeah, but you know, it's I went even before I started doing Collision, I was going to Collision. And I go to every show because I think it's
You're a
important.
sicko.
Well, yeah, I think it's important. I think if you make a commitment to a company, it's important you be there at every show. So, and that's the way I feel. So, and of course, it's easier for me to do that now when there's just me, Lois, and the dogs. If we had kids growing up and the kids had things, you know, baseball games or plays or musicals or whatever they do, and trying to help raise kids, it would be much different. And I get it. We have a lot of guys working behind the scenes who have young children, and that's not easy for them going out on Wednesday and going out on Saturday. But for me, it's easy, and it's fun. Listen, I love it when airtime hits. That's my favorite time of the week. When airtime hits, I just absolutely enjoy it. I really, really do. Oh, by the way, another thing is, and by the way, this is Sting against Earthquake.
Well, no, it's Avalanche.
Avalanche now. Yeah. Okay.
This is before he's the Shark.
Before he's the Shark, right?
By the way, I love this color combination of Sting. The blue and orange. Is that blue and orange?
Oh, yes, it is.
It really hits for me, but the thing that isn't hitting for me,
yeah,
Sting's hair. It looks like he's Beavis from Beavis and Butthead with that hairstyle.
Yeah, he does. It looks like Jeff Jarrett at Full Gear.
I wasn't going to say that, but yes, 100%. On the Jeff Jarrett hair poof meter. Have you heard about this? The poof meter?
No, the poof meter.
Yeah, I'm gonna get Dave Silva to get the poof meter ready for you because I want you to see it and I want you to sort of weigh in and see what you think about it. But we're watching a fun match here because Earthquake was over like Rover in the WWF, and of course he was the big heel against the super over babyface Hulk Hogan, the immortal Hulk Hogan. But now it's Stinger's turn. He's the big babyface in WCW. But right now, Tony, I do want you to take a look at this poof meter for Jeff Jarrett's hair. See what you think of this.
Double J poof meter.
Do you see the hair?
Yeah.
And how poofy it is? Like, I'm wondering, this is from his recent appearance on Hey EW. 0-1 to 1-0 on a scale of 1 to 10. Where are you ranking the Jeff Jarrett bouffant in this video?
Well, to me, the middle one, I guess it's because of the way he turns his head.
Well, that's all the same. I'm just asking.
Yeah. Well, I would say that is like a 7.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if Peg Bundy or Marge Simpson is a 10,
yeah.
Where do you and this what we're looking at here from Hey EW with RJ City over on YouTube is a 7. Where do you think the Full Gear Double J here was?
Oh, that was a
9.
Well, yeah, 9.
Yeah.
If we're going to say that Marge is a 10, then that had to be a 9.
Rajiv points out, I've heard that Karen likes the poof, and that's what matters at the end of the day. She's all about the poof. Hey, Rajiv brings up a good point. We haven't talked about this, but Toni Storm is crushing it with her character work. I agree, Rajiv.
Wow.
It's been the stuff that Toni Storm has done in AEW, I think, is just light years ahead of what I expected. I mean, what an incredible job they're doing with her right now. Shout out to Toni Storm. I know we're giving Penelope flowers, but boy, Toni deserves some too.
Toni is probably top 5 of the best women wrestlers, one of the best women wrestlers I've ever seen, as far as her in-ring work too.
Yeah.
And when she came out at the end of Dynamite, at the end of that Mariah May match, I'm thinking, oh wow, are we going back to Toni Storm, the old Toni Storm, but with a twist? And it was, I don't know, just. And then the sit down that she did with RJ City, I even told her, I said, I quoted her, I sent her a text. I said, I'm into wrestling, rock music, and the grind. And when she said that, it nearly floored me. And the way she said it, just great writing and great delivery and just good stuff. Yeah, I agree, Rajiv. She is absolutely killing it. And again, Toni Storm is a quality person that you want to see prosper, want to see get ahead.
Shout out to Juice Robinson, her other half, because man, what an incredible duo they are. And by the way, I for one would love to see Toni Storm on every Rampage, every Dynamite, and every Collision. I mean, if you got to go, Toni Storm ought to have to go, because just recently saw her Rampage or her Dynamite debut, then a Collision debut.
Yep.
I mean, you've seen so many firsts just in the last few weeks with Toni Storm. It's pretty exciting.
Love it. Love Toni. Love everything about her. Hey, so we're going to Australia. Woo.
Oh yeah, how about that? I know that that's been a big show in the works for quite a while. And is that February that's coming up?
Yeah, February. I won't get the date right. So,
well, they got all the information over at AEWTIX.com. I know that for sure, Tony.
Right, and so it's going to be long. I remember taking that trip back in 2000 with WCW, and it's a long ride.
How many times on that trip you think you'll pull your pud?
0.
How many times will you take Tylenol PM or Advil PM?
Probably numerous. And melatonin.
Two sleeps, you think?
Yeah, I think so.
So if you could knock out like 15 hours of sleep, that'd be ideal, and then the other 11 be awake.
Yeah, probably so.
Yeah, that's a good plan.
I've been known to sleep 15 hours. Have you? What's the longest you've ever slept?
11.
Yeah, 15 is the longest I've ever slept, and that was done just recently.
Is Lois excited about you going down under? I mean, it's probably been a while since you went down under with Lois, huh?
She's not that excited about it for me to be that far away. No, she's not.
Oh, you're not taking her?
No, she doesn't want to go there. I'm going to take her when we go back for Forbidden Door back to the UK. I'm going to take her back there again.
Y'all going to do some of those stupid ass photo shoots?
Yeah, probably.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I love that when you go, you at least document it, like how many people go get a picture? It's, in front of those big rocks.
Yeah. Or on Abbey Road.
Yeah. Like,
right.
I mean, sometimes I'll just be walking down the street and I'll be like, hey, Megan, take a picture. And then I'll be like, hey, Megan, look, there's a big rock behind me. Take a picture.
Yeah, right.
I think that's cool that you do that.
Yeah. Coach Rosie wants to know, am I going to Japan? Of course, we're sending some people there to Japan. I'm not going to go there. I'm not going to Japan. Although I wouldn't mind, because I went to Japan back in 1991 for the big show in the Egg Dome, and that was a great trip.
Wait, why aren't you going? Are you afraid because of the radiation? You're afraid to eat the sushi or what?
Yeah, no, I'm afraid that the washlets over there that you have on the toilet will shoot radiation up into your asshole.
Might chisel that asshole right out.
Exactly.
Hey,
no, I had a great time in Japan when I went there. I loved it. People are so nice, so friendly.
But then why don't you want to go back? I mean, if they're so goddamn friendly.
Well, it's not my decision, dumbass. I'm either booked or I'm not, and I'm not.
Wait. But I'd love to rewind the tape here. I know we can't do that because
Okay.
we're doing a live watch along. But it
Uh-huh.
wasn't that many minutes ago. You said, I was going to Collision before I was booked. So what the fuck's the difference? Take your ass
Okay.
to Japan, bitch.
Okay. All right, I will.
Konnichiwa, motherfucker.
You know, it's a little bit easier to for AEW to afford a ticket for me to Dayton, Ohio than it is to going to Tokyo, Japan. It's a little bit different on the money scale. You got it?
Did you just say AEW and afford in the same
No.
sentence?
No. I didn't say afford. I said it's easier for them to afford a ticket. Oh, they can afford anything. I get that, but it's easier to pay for a ticket for me for Dayton than it is to Tokyo.
It's easier to just
So-
let you sit your bitch ass at home.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
Just do that. Put your cans on.
Right. And do it there.
Get the link, and you can
Yeah.
just do commentary remotely. You can just go upstairs to do it, and then go
Yeah.
back downstairs when it's
Yeah.
over.
Yeah, I can use this fucking headset right there, motherfucker. How's that sound?
Why are you
How's that
gonna
look to you?
me? It
I'm
looks great.
motherfucking you. Okay. That's why I'm motherfucking you.
Hey, why don't you put it on? Just let us see what it looks like when it's
Okay,
on.
there you go. There you go. How's that?
Do you usually keep the microphone in the air? That's going to be on Botcha Man.
You piss me off, you motherfucker. You
just by being awake and
just
talking.
by being around.
Just mere existence.
There you
Mere
go.
existence.
Let's get Dave Sub on with us. Dave,
you nothing happening, motherfucker. You.
okay.
Hi, fellas.
Why are you wearing a hat indoors at 10:27 at night?
Because my hair's a mess.
Hey, Dave.
You don't have any hair.
Dave, have you heard of Just for Men for the beard?
Yeah, Heather won't let me do it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was like, I wanted when I did I colored my beard black for Halloween because I was Ice Cube, and then I found this Just for Men, and it was like 24 hours, and she was like, "Nah, no, I love it gray." So
See, that's what happens when you marry these old ladies.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know this about us, Tony, but all three of us married older women.
Yeah, I know. And as you can tell, I'm the only one that has covered the gray in his beard from all three of us.
You're also the only one that doesn't fuck their wife.
Okay, well, yeah, that's true.
that's a
Okay. That's a fact. So anyway, but as you can tell, I color my beard right here because I have some like gray splotches all through here. And it's because that I run my household. You understand? Okay. If I want to color my beard gray, I'll do it. Unlike you, Dave, and obviously like you, Conrad.
Hang on. So when you're saying you run your household, what'd she cook for supper tonight?
Nothing.
She like light? She like food?
Yeah, she likes food.
I'm just saying.
We had kind of a busy day today.
Oh yeah, let's hear about Lois's busy day.
Okay.
Love to hear all about Lois's busy day.
It was a pretty busy day for her. Really.
Yeah. Well, we'll hang up and listen.
No, it's it's not. No, it's not for.
She made coffee.
No, it's not. It's not. It's not for public consumption.
Talk to the niece for 3 hours.
Hey Tony, we make up bullshit on this show all the time. Don't feel obligated to tell the truth now. Okay.
Don't let the truth get in the way.
First of all, Coach Rosie, she doesn't watch Fox News anymore. She hasn't watched Fox News in probably a little bit over 2 years now.
Jason Taylor has nailed it. He says, when Tony said he runs his household, my wife thought he said he rubs his asshole. Well, he probably does because he wipes front to back or back to front. His balls be itchy as hell. Itchy as hell.
You know, I hate to say this, and Ice Cube, you would agree up there in the corner that we are talking over one hell of a match right now. I mean, this is
oh, there's no doubt. I mean, this match with Sting and Avalanche got a 1/4 star.
Yeah, and Avalanche just now did a big foot stomp, and I thought he caved Sting's chest in.
By the way, Gary Michael Capetta introduced Avalanche as being from Mount Everest, Washington. And he said, I thought they'd announced Sting as being from the Himalayas in New Jersey. That's Silva stomping around on Christmas Day when he didn't get the cornbread dressing he was looking for.
Or he was told he couldn't dye his beard black.
Who wants to do that shit?
I do. I like it.
Hey, by the way, speaking of things that I know you're going to like,
Yeah.
we've got a little video I want to play for you. I know you don't want to do Tony Reed's rap anymore, but
no,
it's not a rap song. Hang on.
It's probably something worse.
It's funk.
Funk.
It's
funk.
Not Terry Funk.
Like
Even
Grand
better.
Funk, like Grand Funk Railroad.
Even better. It's the
I'm
stylistics.
in love with a girl. Oh, the stylistics.
You love that, don't you?
Love the stylistics.
Now, someone has found a way to have the stylistics through the
Uh-huh.
miracle and magic that is AI do a Gorilla Zoe song
What?
that I know you're going to love.
Who's
Let's take
Gorilla?
this. You're going to love it, Tony. It's the stylistics. Just lay back and relax and let these tunes take care of the rest of the night. Here we go.
I absolutely apologize for this.
Dude, tell me you don't like the stylistics right there.
The stylistics are the How about AI, brother? Huh?
Dude, that was amazing.
That was
Shout out
amazing.
to Funk It Up 256 on Instagram. They're also on YouTube.
Wow.
You know, 256 is the area code for Huntsville or North Alabama. So I wonder if they're local or whatever. But man, I fell in love with that YouTube channel last week.
Right.
And I have blown up everybody I know with it because there's so many classics on there. And if you're a rap fan like me, but you also love the old soul stuff like that, meshing it together, I didn't expect it to work so well. But when I saw it, I was like, Tony Schiavone, who hates rap, he will love this.
Yeah, I did.
That was fun.
I really enjoyed it. I love the stylistics. I loved Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes. I love the Spinners, Four Tops. I know I'm going to miss some of them. I know I'm going to miss a couple of them. But they were just all great. Just great stuff. Des Moines said, very yacht rock. Are you into yacht rock?
You know, the first person I ever knew who really talked about yacht rock and made that a thing in my life was Casio Kid.
Yeah.
And I didn't even really know what that was. I saw that yacht rock documentary that came out a couple months ago. Yeah.
You watch it? Yeah, I watched it too.
I enjoyed it. I thought it was good. I didn't really know that was a genre. And I get that people think it's a negative thing. I don't really think it is, but
no,
I do think when you're in the right mood, man, it's pretty damn good. And all that Funk It Up 256 stuff, shout out to those guys. They're doing a great job.
Yeah.
And I got to tell you, I know that I've heard some of their songs, but I don't know that I've gone out of my way to like download stylistic albums, but I have since. And so now this AI introduced me to, oh shit, I really like that. Let me go find some more. That was cool.
Yeah.
Speaking of cool, this is my childhood right here, man. Hulk Hogan coming out to make the save for Sting. I'll admit I was not watching wrestling in 1994, but when I was watching wrestling, and we'll call it 1990, there was nobody cooler on these two shows, these two wrestling shows I watched, the WWF and WCW, than Hulk Hogan and Sting. So to see Sting as the franchise of WCW down there getting saved by Hulk Hogan, man, that was something that we couldn't have imagined not that long before. But I do want to ask you about just the structuring of that, Tony, because that match ends in a DQ, 15 minutes and 26 seconds. Sting gets the win by DQ. Hulk Hogan makes the save. He comes out, tears the shirt off, and does the whole deal.
Yep.
But now he's going to come back out in the main event in the very next match.
Right.
I don't like, you've told us before back in the day when you were in the WWF, they'd have these marathon tapings. They'd go forever, all these syndicated shows, but they'd always be sure to remind you, stay tuned, fans. Coming up in a little while, our main event, Hulk Hogan. And so he was last, and I get that. And I understand what we're trying to do here, give the rub to Sting, and
Right, that's
Hogan
it.
and Sting aren't competing.
That's
But
it.
the structure of them being like, you've got two Hogan entrances now, almost back to back. It feels weird. Should they
Yeah.
have made the Sting Avalanche match earlier or save that for a television angle? It just feels weird to me here.
Well, I think that in reality, and of course, it's easy to try to book it now, right? All these
Yeah.
years later, 30
Yes,
years later.
yes.
In reality, not saying it should have been Avalanche in there with him, but Sting should have been in the main event and Hogan come out to help him there. And
Right.
that should have been the way it was done, by the way.
We got a few questions on Twitter. Gennaro Gonzalez says, was the Butcher the worst person in a Starcade main event ever?
That's
What do you think?
wow. I'd have to go. I'd have to look. We'd have to list out the Starcade main events for me to be able to say that.
All right. Well, listen, we know what Flair for the Gold was. It was
Right.
Harley Race and Ric Flair.
All right.
Yeah, are either of them worse than the Butcher?
No.
All right. So the next year it was Flair and Dusty. We got that twice. Are either one of them worse than the Butcher?
That was $1 million challenge, right? With Joe Frazier, the referee.
And then the Gathering right after.
Right. And that was Dusty in the cage, right? And
It was Flair and Dusty. Yeah.
again, okay.
And then we had Flair and Nikita in
Uh-huh.
86. Is Nikita worse than the Butcher?
No.
Ron Garvin was there in 87.
Uh-huh.
Lex Luger in 88.
Mm-hmm.
Sting in 89. Are any of them worse than the Butcher?
No.
1990 was the Black Scorpion, which is Ric Flair under a hood. 93 was Vader. 96 was Roddy Piper. I'm sorry, 95 was Randy Savage.
Yeah.
98 was Goldberg and Nash.
Uh-huh.
99 was Bret Hart and Goldberg.
Okay.
2000 was Scott Steiner and Sid Vicious.
Huh. Well, okay. Sid wasn't that great.
Okay, so you think Sid was worse than the Butcher?
Sid looked better than the Butcher, but Sid wasn't the greatest worker in the world, right?
No.
Okay.
He was more box office than the Butcher.
Yeah. I'll give you that. Okay.
He main evented 2 WrestleManias.
Okay. You got to define what you mean by worse. Box office draw, personality, being able to work in the ring. There's so many variables,
Well, let me ask you, we're watching what a lot of people regard as being the worst Starcade main event of all time. Starcade
Right.
94, Hulk Hogan and the Butcher. But we had Starcade 91 and Starcade 92. Those were both the Battle Bowl years.
Uh-huh.
The main events in those, of course, were, Battle Bowl matches.
Uh-huh.
The first year, Sting won, last eliminating Lex Luger. That was in the Norfolk Scope. Battle Bowl in 92 was the Great Muta, last eliminating Barry Windham. So I guess you could argue that the Battle Bowls were maybe worse main events.
Yeah.
But I think the Butcher's probably the worst main eventer
Yeah.
in Starcade history.
How about this this guy in the hood? Is this not Arn Anderson or what?
I mean, it's so obvious, right?
I know. The way he throws these punches and everything.
The way he walks, every bit of it.
Yeah. This whole storyline was to expose Brutus the Barber Beefcake
As
the guy-
Two-Faced. Yes.
as Two-Faced. So in effect, now give me this, guys. In effect, this was not a bad storyline if you think about it, right?
Yes.
You say it was a bad storyline.
Well, I mean, I can't say it's a bad storyline. It's not a good storyline for Starcade, I don't think.
Well, okay.
Like I know that we're not doing Flair on this show because
Right.
he's just lost a retirement match in October.
Right.
But why did Flair and Hogan never wrestle at a Starcade? Isn't that crazy?
Why didn't Flair and Hogan wrestle each other immediately when Flair went to the WWF?
Well, he
The first
did
time.
on the house shows.
That's
And
right. It did on the house shows, but they didn't build it up for this big finally Hogan and Flair together. And I guess the answer to that is that Vince thought by doing that he was putting the other promotion over.
Well, Ric Flair would say, and if you go back and you look, he's correct. Flair was not over in some of the big markets. Like Flair was not over in LA. Like JCP was just not over in California the way the WWF was.
Right.
And these shows just didn't draw as well. And so them not drawing as well was the issue. But still, it was absolute box office when they did it here in 94 for Bash at the Beach. It broke every WCW record when they did it in July of this year. And they did a rematch at Halloween Havoc, this time for a retirement. And I guess Eric Bischoff has explained that in his mind, in his opinion, Halloween Havoc was like the WCW WrestleMania.
Right.
I, as a fan at home, kind of felt like Starcade was supposed to be.
It was.
And I've always found it curious that, yes, we did get Hogan and Flair at Halloween Havoc and at Bash at the Beach, but never Starcade.
Right.
Like Ric Flair wrestled Eric Bischoff at Starcade, but not Hulk Hogan. What?
Yeah. Right. If you think about the history and you think about, yeah, it should have been Flair and Hogan at a Starcade.
And they're giving a lot of time to the backstory here of this whole angle and match.
Right.
Michael Gibb over on Twitter wants to know, Tony, why was 1994 such a shit year in wrestling?
Well, again, that's your perspective, but that was the year that Hogan arrived in WCW, and we had Hogan and Flair at Bash of the Beach. So I wouldn't consider it a shit year in wrestling. I don't know what they were doing. I have no idea what they were doing in 1994. So
Not much.
yeah.
RCS 88 says, do you think Hogan versus Flair in a title in career versus career should have happened here instead of Halloween Havoc? The post-match angle with Beefcake and Avalanche could have taken place here. That's hard to argue. I think, again, I think we've kind of probably explained that Eric Bischoff feels like the big show was supposed to be Halloween Havoc, not Starcade.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm not asking this to be funny. Do you think, by and large, because you take a look at this crowd and you do see a lot of yellow shirts and you see the Hulk Hogan foam ears and all that. So Hulk Hogan's over.
Yeah.
I'm wondering in 1994, and I'm asking this sincerely because we're talking about what a big sellout this was, and people are so excited that it sold out. They're taking pictures of the marquee out front at the WCW office. Do you think what drew the crowd here? I mean, is this by and large WWF fans who are coming to see Hulk Hogan? Or are these hardcore WCW, aka just a few years removed from Jim Crockett Promotions and NWA fans?
I think they're Hogan. I think they're Hogan fans.
They're WWF fans.
Is that one and the same?
Well, I'm just saying he's only been with the company at this point 6 months.
Right.
So I'm just wondering, do you think that, hey, they came to see Hulk Hogan because it's not like they loved what he did in the last 6 months. They'd grown up with him at this point.
Right. Right.
So for the last 10 years, he's been the big show.
Yeah.
I just feel like a lot of the people in the crowd are probably WWF fans who are here at a WCW show to see Hulk Hogan.
Yeah.
Not all of them, but
No.
some.
But yeah, I guess there's a certain truism to that.
We do want to do some more questions here. We've got to talk too about the Honky Tonk Man. That's something that we haven't touched on this, but that's the news coming out of the show. And let me just go ahead and break that down for you. Starting with the only news of substance, Honky Tonk Man quit the promotion just before match time. Don't know all the details, but was told Honky was expecting to get the TV title. He should pay attention to pre-taped television since they had taped TV for January with Johnny B. Bad still holding the belt. He was also unhappy about not getting a contract. Both he and Jim Duggan are on $1,000 per match deals rather than a guaranteed yearly salary. And we're told coming in that nobody was going to get guaranteed big money deals as in the past. And they felt misled because then Randy Savage got such a deal. He may have balked about being asked to do the job, but I don't know that as a fact. Considering his career alternatives at this point, even though he might have felt it was right to walk out, the decision has to be perplexing. Now, if we talked a lot with Eric Bischoff, and he said that this was one of the highlights of his career, and it was one of the greatest days of his life. And if he could, he would start every day, even now in 2024, by waking up, getting a cup of coffee, firing the Honky Tonk Man.
Yeah.
You were there. What do you remember about Honky Tonk Man walking out?
I remember nothing about it.
great.
I'm sorry, I don't. I could, of course, we make up a lot of shit on the show, but I remember nothing. The only thing I do remember is Honky Tonk Man not being happy, and then Honky Tonk Man not being there. I don't remember any type of conflict backstage, or I don't remember Eric saying you're fired, and Eric coming to us and saying, "Hey, I fired this son of a bitch. He's gone. I'm so glad." I just remembered that he was unhappy.
Yeah.
But you know, wasn't he always kind of like that? Haven't you heard that about him, about Wayne?
I've never met him. I mean, he's one of those guys that I don't know really anything about. I mean, I've seen some shoot interviews, but
Right.
I don't
I
really know.
I I've talked. I mean, I work with him in the WWE, and I work with him in obviously in WCW. He didn't come in for long. He just didn't seem like he wanted to be there to me. And maybe that was all driven because of money. And I'm sure it was, right? Some guys are driven because of storyline. Some guys are driven because of wins and losses. And some guys are driven because of money. And to me, of those three, the most important is money. Because if you're going to do the job, but you're still going to get paid, do the fucking job. You're making a good living, you know. So that's what but the only thing I remember about Honky Tonk Man was him being very unhappy. Notice how Hogan and Brutus are really taking their time here.
We already got their money, brother.
No, it's just that I wonder who put together this match. Well, I'm sure Hogan did.
No doubt.
Yeah, I was trying to think who was the coach or who was the producer or the agent for this match, and it was Hogan. So
Cody is asking on Twitter, who does Tony think was the best option against Hogan? Like if you were booking here, if you had gotten that executive producer job and not that nothing happened to Eric Bischoff, son of a bitch,
yeah,
and you had that gig, who would you have put in there against Hogan on this night?
well, God, who was on the roster? I mean, at that time,
Vader.
Vader would have been good, right? Yeah, Vader would have been great. A rematch with Ric Flair would have been great.
All right, here we go. This is the roster as of December 94. You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Beautiful Bobby Eaton, Sting, Flying Brian Pillman, the Enforcer Arn Anderson, Brad Armstrong, Big Van Vader, the Natural Dustin Rhodes, Johnny B. Baz, Stunning Steve Austin, Diamond Dallas Page, Marcus Alexander Bagwell, Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff, Lord Steven Regal, the Nature Boy Ric Flair, Pretty Paul Roma, Stevie Ray, Booker T, Dave Sullivan, Brian Knobs, Jerry Sachs, Mark Starr, the Guardian Angel, Kevin Sullivan, the Patriot, Bunkhouse Buck, Steve Armstrong, Ming, John Paul Levesque, Dos Winterkin, Alex Wright, Frank Anderson, Hulk Hogan, Brutus Beefcake, Hacksaw Jim Duggan, Jumpin' Joey Maggs, The Avalanche, Dirty Dick Slater, Broad Street Bully, Scott Armstrong, Randy Macho Man Savage.
Okay, I missed that. Would you run that over again?
Sure. Beautiful Bobby Eaton, Sting, Flying Brian Pillman, the Enforcer Arn Anderson, Brad Armstrong, Big Van Vader, the Natural Dustin Rhodes, Johnny B. Bad, Stunning Steve Austin, Diamond Dallas Page, Marcus Alexander Bagwell, Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff, Lord Steven Regal, the Nature Boy Ric Flair, Pretty Paul Roma, Stevie Ray, Booker T, Dave Sullivan, Brian Knobs, Jerry Sachs, Mark Starr, the Guardian Angel, Kevin Sullivan, the Patriot, Bunkhouse Buck, Steve Armstrong, Ming, John Paul Levesque, Dos Winterkin, Alex Wright, Frank Anderson, Hulk Hogan, Brutus Beefcake, Hacksaw Jim Duggan, Jumpin' Joey Maggs, The Avalanche, Dirty Dick Slater, Broad Street Bully, Scott Armstrong, Randy Macho Man Savage.
Okay. And I missed some of those in the middle. So if you will start from the bottom and go to the top.
Sure. Randy Macho Man Savage, Scott Armstrong, Broad Street Bully, Dirty Dick Slater, The Avalanche, Joey Maggs, Hacksaw Jim Duggan, Brutus Beefcake, Hulk Hogan, Frank Anderson, Alex Wright, John Paul Levesque, Ming, Steve Armstrong, Bunkhouse Buck, The Patriot, Kevin Sullivan, The Guardian Angel, Mark Starr, Jerry Sachs, Brian Knobs, Dave Sullivan, Booker T, Stevie Ray, Pretty Paul Roma, the Nature Boy Ric Flair, Lord Steven Regal, Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff, Marcus Alexander Bagwell, Diamond Dallas Page, Stunning Steve Austin, Johnny B. Bad, The Natural Dustin Rhodes, Big Van Vader, Brad Armstrong, The Enforcer Arn Anderson, Flying Brian Pillman, Sting, and Beautiful Bobby Eaton.
Okay, that's a pretty good list of talent, and I would still gone for a Flair Hogan rematch. I think,
yeah,
to build it up right.
I could have seen. I mean, Randy Savage would have worked here.
Yes, of course he would have worked here. You know what? in many ways, if done right, and just based on the old WWF stuff from years gone by,
Yeah.
Paul Orndorff would have been all right.
Oh, that would have been great.
You know, remember the cage match where the photo finish thing?
I loved it.
Yeah, it was tremendous. It was very, very well done. But here we got Brutus, and he's not the listen. He is not the worst worker in the world. I know people shit on him because he's Hogan's friend, and he was put into a spot, and but he's not. He really isn't. And the barber gimmick back in the day in the 80s was pretty cool with the.
Oh, he was over back then.
The hedge clippers and everything. Fuck. Absolutely. But Jesus Christ, we still got 20 minutes to go.
I see people like Adam DeMoy, stupid ass Adam DeMoy, saying Cactus Jack was there in '94 too. No, he wasn't.
Okay.
He wasn't in WCW in December of 1994. This show happened in December. Nothing happening, son of a bitch.
Yeah. I'm not going to talk bad of Adam DeMoy. It's DeMoy. It's not DeMoy.
Wait, hang on. You shit on him every week. That's the only reason I shit on him.
I'm not shitting on him anymore because he's a father. He's got a young daughter.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah. So Disco Inferno, he should have been in here.
Yeah. No, fuck him.
Wait, no, hang on. That's his favorite wrestler. If we're supporting Adam, we got to support what he's into.
No, it's not his favorite wrestler. He knows. DeMoy knows that everybody hates Disco Inferno. Everybody.
I don't hate Disco Inferno. I just
yeah, you do. Yeah, you do.
I love Disco Inferno. He's a great guy.
Everybody hates Disco Inferno. I bet his parents hate him. Okay.
No, that's
so that's why. So that's why DeMoy brings his name up. He wants to get a rise from us. Okay?
I don't believe that. I don't think Adam would do that. Really, I don't.
Okay.
What's wrong with us?
I don't know. We have fun on the show.
Every now and again. So listen, as folks are listening to this, it's Christmas Day. Do you have any Christmas night traditions? Like, is there anything? I know that a lot of people get ready for Santa on Christmas Eve and they're leaving out the cookies and the milk and the whole deal. Do you have a Christmas night tradition?
Yeah, I usually like to eat a turkey sandwich.
Okay.
With a little bit of ham on it, cheese, and
I should have seen that coming.
Yeah. That's what I like.
You know what goes good with Disco Inferno?
Yes. Thank you for that, Bobby. We appreciate that on the chat.
I do want to ask you, we were just talking about Christmas Eve. Back when you had all those nothing happening, Howl at the Moon, Schiavone babies running around the household.
Yeah.
When Santa would come
to
your home address, should I give your street address again here on the show?
Probably should not. No.
Okay. So when they would come to your street, which I won't say the numbers or the street name to.
Thank you, because you have, and I still get some mail here at the house.
Yeah, we should figure out where that was and delete the episode.
Yeah, we probably should. And you know what? And every time that we pull out a piece of mail from the house, and by the way, I still do answer it. Every time we pull it out and show it to Lois, you know what she says?
That motherfucking Conrad Thompson.
Bingo. So go ahead. So anyway.
Well, just let her know that motherfucker goes between Conrad and Thompson.
It's
Conrad motherfucker
Thompson. Right.
Not motherfucking Conrad Thompson. It's a little difference, but it's close.
Yeah.
What did the Schiavone kids leave for Santa? Were they milk and cookie children?
Yeah.
Did they leave some of mom's donkey dicks? What were they leaving?
Now, milk and cookies, kids. Yeah, that's what they were.
What kind of cookies?
Probably like sugar cookies. Sugar cookies.
Okay.
Yeah. I think so.
Adam said he went and picked up a honey baked ham today. It was a war zone. Man, I can identify with that. We just had a new bakery open, and they opened today at 10 a.m. And they said, we're only open until we sell out. And I was like, man, that's a weird way to advertise. Well, boy, it worked. My wife and I, she said, hey, come pick me up at work and let's go check out the new bakery. So we do. We walk in at 10:04. They've been open 4 minutes. It's standing room only. There's a line, 70 people deep.
Jeez.
It's unbelievable. Like, I understand that it's the holidays and people go a little nuts, but a woman approached my wife today and said, did you get pimento cheese? And she said, No. Well, it's up there by the register, and we're back here at the end of the line. If you get the last pimento cheese, I'm going to come knock you down and take it from you.
Are you serious?
And my wife and I kind of laughed, and she said, and pointed her finger at her and said, I'm serious.
Yeah.
And turned around and walked to the back of the line. This lady's probably 65, 70. And I was like, what just happened?
You should have got the pimento cheese.
Motherfucker, I bought every 10 they had.
Yeah.
And guess what I did? I walked outside and threw it in the goddamn trash can. I didn't even want the pimento cheese, but fuck off coming over here acting like you're going to beat up my wife.
Jesus.
First of all, she's a bodybuilder and a flare.
Mhm.
She'll fucking whip your ass and blade herself.
Yeah.
And you'll go to jail.
Yeah. Hey, by the way, there must be a fight in the stands right now if you're watching video with us, because everybody is standing up and no one's paying attention to the match. That is a surefire sign that something's up.
At this point, there was a fight in the stands, and you could see nobody was watching the ring. And unfortunately, it was the match climax with Butcher holding the sleeper.
Right.
Hogan was about to do a comeback and smartly realized the crowd wasn't watching and stopped.
Right.
Hogan then played possum, acting like he was out. Butcher dropped the hold and celebrated as if he won. Hogan then made his Superman comeback. So yeah, everybody's taking a look. If this was the late 90s, we'd think a lady had them things out at a DX show or whatever. But now we know in 94, they just got a little liquored up, started throwing hands, baby.
Yeah. Well, it's even Hogan had turned to that where it was, and you could see he was watching as well, just for a brief second before he went down. And the people are still watching.
Man, Coach Keith just hit us with a great question.
Brother.
During this angle, was it ever supposed to be Kurt Hennig? I asked that because when Hogan got hit with the pipe, Mean Gene kept saying it was a perfect plan.
Wow.
Isn't that interesting?
You know what?
Fucking A.
There's something of that question that rings true with me.
How great is that, dude?
Yeah.
I don't even know that I've ever even thought of that. We got to go look at that, though. Shout out to Coach Rosie for coming through on that shit. I mean, Coach Keith for coming through on that shit.
Right. Something about that rings true. I don't know what it is.
Just as a timeline, his last match in the WWF was October 29th, 1993. It was a house show. And we don't see him again in the ring until July 13th, 1997. Now, we know that he was doing commentary for the WWF, and he was even working with them in 96 before he just disappeared and then showed up in 97 for WCW. But, man, that's interesting. What if? That would have been fucking cool, dude, for real. Like, Mr. Perfect and Hulk Hogan, like, we never got that really on a pay-per-view in the WWF. So doing it in WCW made all the sense in the world.
Yeah. Look at, look at Avalanche, man. He's rushing to the ring there. He just had a 15-minute match, so he's completely blown sky high.
I know that we're talking over the match here, but I just looked it up. Mr. Perfect came back at WrestleMania 10. He was the special guest referee between Lex Luger and Yokozuna, but he was gone by the spring of 94, and he didn't come back until Survivor Series 95 to do color commentary. So he was gone for a whole year. So that timeline, I mean, he would have had to work out the Lloyds of London thing, and if it was supposed to happen or was discussed as happening, maybe that's the reason it didn't happen.
Yeah, there's something about that strikes a memory chord with me. Either it was going to happen that way, or we had talked about it. I don't know. That is great. Let's hear it for Coach Keith. He doesn't know how to pick those pro football teams, but he knows what he's doing here.
Give us the time code here, Tony.
Okay, the Macho Man had run out, so the Macho Man is in the ring now, and it is at 2 hours, 31 minutes, and 46, 47, 48 seconds.
What a cluster we got here at the end.
Yeah. What they're trying to do is Hogan cannot believe that the Macho Man is with him. And he shakes Kevin Sullivan's hand.
After the match, Randy Savage ran in and shook hands with the Faces of Fear, acting like they were going to ambush Hogan. But instead, he turned on the heels and helped Hogan, and they shook hands and did the posing routine together in the ring. 3/4 of a star.
3 or 4 of the worst chair shots you're ever going to see in your life. For
Hulk Hogan never hurt nobody.
Yeah, right. Absolutely. But you know what? In hindsight, I'm okay with it too. Because many people got banged with a chair and never recovered.
Hulk Hogan never gave somebody CTE with a chair.
Nope, not at all. And here, of course, is the big deal. And I remember somebody told me back in the WWE, back when I was there, the biggest thing of the night is not the match, it's Hogan posing.
And here
yeah, we're going to see it here.
Randy Savage with the big gold.
Yeah, superpowers unite.
By the way, Meltzer would say, overall, it was an easily forgettable nearly 3 hours.
Yeah.
After the show, someone brought up the subject of the first Starcade in 1983 and how well they remembered it. The funny thing was, 30 minutes after the show was over, I remembered more about Starcade 83 than this show. I wouldn't call it the worst pay-per-view show ever, but it was certainly in the bottom 5 or 10%. And believe it or not, we've still got 12 minutes left.
What?
And what's left is a post-match interview, and it happens in the babyface dressing room with Hulk Hogan and Mean Gene and all that jazz. And Vader and Harley Race are going to come out and challenge Hulk Hogan to a match. It's the highlight of the show, although not for Gene Okerlund, who Meltzer said is in poor health to begin with. And Vader brushed him aside pretty hard. And Okerlund lost his composure on the air at the end. How about that?
Wow, really? Wow, lost his composure at the end.
Yeah, dude. Of course, we're not going to track it, so I don't know that it makes much sense for us to sit and watch the interview. But Starcade 94, man, it was a different time in WCW. We mentioned earlier at the top of the show, just 1 year prior to this, one of the best Starcade matches ever. Hulk Hogan and Vader. I'm sorry, Ric Flair and Vader.
Right.
And a year later, it's the Hulk Hogan era. So Flair's not even on the doggone thing. He's just lost a retirement match, but it is used as a vehicle to really establish Macho Man as a major player, fresh in the promotion. He's only been here a short while. And yeah, it's a WWF show. I mean, at this point, the way we're ending it, Hogan and Macho Man posing at the end with Jimmy Hart, it does feel like the WWF's in town.
Sure does. And fans are buying into it too. They love it.
Well, we love it. We love hanging out with you guys, and we're going to do it next week. I can't believe it, but this is our last show of 2024. Of course, we're going to record our next show in 2024, but you won't hear it until next year. And it's going to drop on January 1st, 2025. And we're going to go back to January 1st, 1994, and watch an episode of WCW Saturday Night from 31 years ago. That show featured Steve Austin versus Sting, Too Cold Scorpio and Marcus Bagwell in a tag team match. Steven Regal's on the program, so are Cactus Jack, Max Payne, and even the Shockmaster. So we'll have a little bit of the good, the bad, and the ugly next week here on What Happened When. But right now, Tony, it looks like it's about that time.
Yes, as the Stylistics would have said long, long time ago, if I could, I'd like to be a great big movie star, overnight sensation, drive a big expensive car. I would buy you everything your little heart desires. These things I do 'cause I'm in love with you.
On hood.
See you next time on What Happened When. We come to you each and every week, each and every Wednesday on Cumulus Westwood 1. But don't forget Mondays, we come to you ad-free and exclusively on
Patreon, patreon.com/WHW Monday. And of course, adfreeshows.com.
Give the ultimate gift to the wrestling fan in your life this holiday season. The gift of ad-free shows. Head over to adfreegift.com now to purchase an ad-free show subscription for a friend or loved one. The best value in wrestling podcast with several plans to choose from. Starting as low as just $9 a month, you're gifting early ad-free access to Conrad Thompson's weekly podcast, plus access to the full podcast archive library and access to the Patreon, where you can join the community chat and submit your questions for the shows. Want more? Plans starting at $29 a month get access to over 100,000 hours of other exclusive content from legends like The Godfather, Tully Blanchard, Lex Luger, David Crockett, Downtown Bruno, and many more. Plus, interactive Q&As and watch-alongs with your favorite podcast hosts and Hall of Famers. Let's hear from some of our ad-free show's family members.
Listening to podcasts without ads is pretty cool, but listening to bonus exclusive content is even better.
AFS has meant so much to me through the moments and memories created.
My friendships that I've made so far, it's been one heck of an experience.
Not only do you get great content and so much historical information, but you're also part of a community here, even more so a family.
So many different walks of life being brought together by one commonality of wrestling.
The community and the family feel with all the members who have been very welcoming.
How many places do you get to go to actually interview stars like Jeff Jarrett and Eric Bischoff?
When I joined ad-free shows, Eric actually called me to thank me personally. That moment made me realize just how special this community is.
And it's a global family.
It's a family that I never dreamed of having. It's been a heck of a ride, and can't wait for more to come.
Thank you, ad-free shows, for celebrating wrestling's greatest era and for making podcasts that are just too sweet. And just know that you've got a member for life.
Visit adfreegift.com today and gift an ad-free show's membership to the wrestling fan in your life this Christmas.